Oh, thank you. Sorry to interrupt.
No problem. I'm really hoping that my Wi-Fi connection works for this. I can see it's thinking. Okay, anyway, so I'm just going to get at it then. My goal really is to help you get some nuggets or chunks out of each product, of the main products that we have here. And if you can tie it some way to understanding what's going on in your body, I believe that you have a much better chance of explaining to others about what's going on with these supplements, so that number one, they believe what you're saying and you believe what you're saying. And then when things maybe don't work out exactly for Susie as they did for Paul, we have things that we can do to sort of tweak things and make their experience so much better and get them through the adaptive phase into loving the products and saying, I'm never going off these products. So I'm just going to leave the admitting to the rest, the co-hosts that are on. And what I have to do right now is figure out how to share my screen. So what I think we should do is, if you have a pad and paper or something like that to record, like take your own notes on each thing. I'm going to ask you to maybe hold your questions, or I'm not sure if we have someone who can actually manage the questions, because most of our co-hosts are driving, so it makes it a little challenging. I just know that I can't present and stop to answer questions because I'll lose my train of thought and we'll be here for hours. So maybe what we'll do at the end is see if we have time to open it up for questions, and if not, we'll just progress as best we can. I'm hoping to get you out of here in 30 minutes. And yeah, so what I'm going to do right now is figure out how to share my screen with you.
Rebecca, I can manage the questions if you want. It's Carolyn.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to try to share my screen. Okay, there we go. Hopefully you can all see that. So, you know, for one of the first questions that you're probably going to face when you go into the world of health and wellness is, you know, why do I need this and why does it cost so much money? And so I really think it's important that you understand the principles of healthy living, and also understand that there's a reason why we've chosen Be Epic, because the price point is incredibly affordable. If you look at, you know, across the board, what it costs to have natural dietary supplementation. So what I believe is that we all need to have some basic principles of healthy living. I don't believe that if we just go and do dietary supplements without improving other areas, that we're going to get optimal results. So, you know, you should be learning about good food and what that means. You should be trying to get that restful sleep. You need to have behaviors in place to help you manage stress. We teach it to students and young children. You know, turn off the phone. The phone goes on the counter in the kitchen. It doesn't go into your bedroom. There are some basic things that you need to do to help yourself along your journey. You want to be active. Sitting all day long in a vehicle or at a desk is not conducive to a healthy lifestyle. And you need to have some form of self-development, whether it's a spiritual aspect or, you know, just reading positive things and growing your own person. When you can go through that holistic change, you're going to see some incredible results through natural supplementation. So, so if we think about that, then the value of supplementation, I also wanted to just, you know, take a moment to think, why do we do this? And I made a post on Facebook the other day about it. When I was a kid, I remembered my grandmother taking me through, you know, the bushes and finding rose hips and picking mint off the ground and all this kind of thing. And this is a skill that's by and large lost to this generation. The way that we mass produce food is very different. I'm from a farming background, and the farms of today are nothing like the farm that I grew up on or my grandfather started. The amount of, I guess, chemical and other things that we put into soil science and crop sciences, and the way that we even change and modify seed is quite significant to what was happening here at the turn of the century in the early 1900s. So when you think about that and all the development in food science, I can remember hearing back in the 90s when I was in university, professors saying things like this. You know, if we looked at the amount of vitamin C that was in a peach in the 1950s, you would almost need about 30 peaches today to get that same quality of vitamin C. So we are constantly now looking for new foods, superfoods that maybe aren't as impacted in mass production, trying to find ways to get the basics of this health into in nutrition into our body. So there is very good reason for exploring dietary supplementation just to improve your overall wellness. And then we know with the advancements in food science and nutraceuticals that biochemists are looking toward natural products, and they're much more interested nowadays in using them for, you know, some chronic illnesses, whether it's like mental wellness or chronic pain or, you know, a variety of things. They often can look at the body and start to see what is this person lacking through blood work and symptoms, and what can we put into the body to fix that. So I'm a firm believer in learning how to heal your body. And of course, when we look at the EPIC, to see these whole foods, so not crushed up chemicals made in a lab, but dried and not even like heated. We're talking more of a cold press drying process that extracts the nutrition out of the food. This is whole food. So when you put that in your body actually knows it's food and it knows what to do with it. That's what we have here at the EPIC. These are also, when I look at the EPIC pack in and of itself, that is 100% natural. There's no filler, there's no binder, there's no sweetener in that 3-step system. And to get those kinds of results that are 100% all natural, plant-derived supplements that only cost 90 or 100 US dollars is absolutely out of this world affordable. And it's quality. So when you look at the reasons to why we would go to the EPIC, I also said 3 steps. You know, for the basic core, I believe that we should all be promoting with the basic core pack, the EPIC kit. It's such a simple system to fit in your day. And then if you go beyond that, of course, you need to know the company story and the leadership behind us. We're not here to discuss that today. And I know if you're on this call, you believe in that already. But all those things are so important to why we're here and why we want to know about these supplements. So, oh, I guess I should have been sharing that screen as I was talking. Anyway, I'm going to get right into the first one. And I know you guys have seen a lot of these core products, so I don't need to go into it in depth, but I also know we have some new people here. So what I love about Elevate is this is a way that I like to start my day. And whether you start it in the morning or 10 o'clock at noon, you know, it's a great flooding of the body with nutrition. There are 4.5 servings of superfoods. And so it's really important that you understand what a superfood is as opposed to a non-superfood. The amount of trace minerals that are in those foods, it covers off the spectrum, right? The vitamins and minerals that are in there, it covers off the spectrum, but it's also 4.5 servings. If you had 4.5 servings of fruit, for example, in the morning, you'd probably overload your blood sugar levels and your insulin would start to go up and all those kinds of things. So to know that you can get this assurance into your day, the first thing when you start it, that right there is powerful. And just, I didn't do a slide for this one, but you know that you have great kids. That's what great kids is, right? It's just those 4.5 servings of all those superfoods. It's one of them is great for kids, 2 of them is great for adults. I use both Elevate and Great Kids. Elevate is a daily thing for me. Great Kids is what I use to pick me up in the afternoon. There's no caffeine in there, so I just add it to my water. And there's something about the bioavailability of these products. A lot of supplements, when you buy them from the store, they are not whole foods. They are made with heat. They're actually pressed into hard little pellets. They often have a coating around them, and your body does not break them down. And I have friends who are in the business of, say, porta potties. So you have a major event, they bring out their trailers of all that nice stuff. When they go and clean that out, and I've had them tell me this because I'm a person who loves dietary supplementation. They talk about these pellets that they wash out of those porta potties, just tons of them that they're washing out. That is from the daily vitamins that most people grab from their grocery store that are not bioavailable to their bodies. And so this kind of food, this kind of production, it is bioavailable. Your body does absorb it and it knows what to do with it. So that's a great thing about Elevate. I also like the nootropic blend. Nootropics are what improve your brain chemistry. And so what you need are things in the daytime, in the morning part, to fire up your brain, to actually get it alert, give you energy, give you that mental clarity, focus, and drive to hit the day and want to actually get things done. As you age, that gets more and more difficult to do. But even people in their 30s who probably still feel really good, we know when we do from the evidence of brain scans that there is a lot of brain inflammation in the brain based on the stress of our lives, the toxins in our environment, the caffeinated beverages that everybody overconsumes. This is not making us healthy. It's making us ill. And brain inflammation, if left unchecked, absolutely leads to disease, whether it's the early onset of an autoimmune disease, such as Parkinson's or something like that. Brain inflammation is a very serious aspect of wellness. And we need to be doing what we can to minimize brain inflammation. And so the nootropics that are in here really help your brain to function better. The neurons that fire and send out messages, those messages often as you age just end up going away. They end up not arriving at the destination, and we have to fire more and more. And so we get slower in our expression of what we're trying to say and do. It's not that we don't understand, it's just that our ability to communicate it slows down. So we need to be having these healthy nootropics at this part of the day to help our brain function better. And then there's herbal adaptogens in this blend that there are actually pharmaceutical studies being done now, and it's moving into the pharmaceutical industry. The nutraceutical and pharmaceutical industry are really starting to blend as biochemists look for less what's invasive ways to manage symptoms and to deal with some of the problems we face. Because when you start looking into the pharmaceutical world only, there are a lot of side effects too, and then they can be quite damaging to a lot of the things that people put in their body. So herbal adaptogens really help your body deal with stress. They protect cells, and they really help mitigate or minimize the impact of stress on your cells, because stress is a killer that leads to things like heart disease and other issues that end life prematurely. There's also energy piece to this, and it's the green coffee bean. There is L-theanine for promoting weight loss. And this is an antioxidant. This is not like the caffeine that you get at the drive-through. And I've heard a lot of people say to me, well, I like my coffee, I don't need caffeine, I've already taken care of that. It's not the same thing. Yes, caffeine has an addictive part to it. It actually is something where you require more and more caffeine to get the same hit. So when you consume this and then you consume coffee, you can run into some problems in how that works in your body and how it's all metabolized. Tips for taking Elevate: I would encourage most people not to take it on an empty stomach. So therefore, I don't take it just at 6 o'clock in the morning. I take mine around 10 after I've had a small breakfast. And then I also take it with a really healthy, fat, clean, high protein snack. And everybody sees my picture of avocados and berries and nuts and hemp hearts and things like that. Because what that does is it prevents the rapid absorption and spike from the caffeine on my body. So it moves the jitters away. It actually gives me more sustained energy when I combine it with those kinds of healthy fats. So that's just a tip on using it. But if you are having to share with somebody what is Elevate for, well, just look at that little phrase that's up there. Elevate can help you perform mentally and physically at high level without brain fog, moodiness, or other negative side effects that sugary overcaffeinated drinks have. And you might also drop in there, plus it also has that, that caffeine part, that thermogenic, that can also assist with weight loss. So that's Elevate, and we'll just keep going to the next one in the series. So we're gonna look at Restore. Restore is really, really an intelligent product. And I just hope that people can learn to get it to work in their system. Sometimes when we start to impact gut health and the digestive process, we go through some discomfort as that's healing and changing. So, you know, people like to call it a detox. It's not a wrong word, but this is not a detox pill. This is a pill that supports your detoxing organs. So when I think about it, really, it is about the whole digestive process. You've got the prebiotics that feed a probiotic. The probiotic is a very high quality. It's encapsulated. 97% of probiotics die before your body can use them because they're very unstable. They can't tolerate heat. They can't tolerate acidity. Well, guess what's in your stomach? Heat and acidity. So this capsule or this shield that's around it helps it get into or survive to get into the small intestine, where eventually that's eaten through, and then it releases the spores into the small intestine area so that it can move through the digestive tract. So that's powerful. A lot of people take probiotics and don't feel different. This one will change how your digestive system is behaving. It also has the digestive enzymes. Really, really one of the best features of that, well, not the best, but it really sets it above other products that I've seen because there's 9 of them. And most of them will choose 2 or 3 because they just want one for fat, one for carbs, and one for protein. Digestive enzymes' job is to break down food into the smallest particles so you can absorb it. And that is a real problem in North America, the way that we produce food, the way that we have preservatives, and the way we deliver food. The distance from field to your table is a lot. And there's a lot of time there, and there's preservatives going in to preserve the food so that you get it before it's rotten. And you can see that. You put bread on your shelf, you know, for a week. Well, if you go make bread, you leave it 3 days and it's done, right? So those chemicals that wrap around food that bugs don't eat on the shelf, that actually makes it very difficult for the bugs in your belly to break down that food. So a lot of times we're just passing that through. We're getting a calorie, but we're not getting a nutrition. So we're overweight but undernourished. So digestive enzymes break down those pieces into the smallest parts so that you can actually get your body to absorb, which happens in the small intestine all along that, you know, I don't know if it's 9 feet, I can't remember how big it is, but it's all happening along there, different foods at different parts. And then your body starts to secrete hormones in response to that. And as your hormone balancing picks up, the rest of your health starts to improve. Like you think about the relationship between the gut and the brain. The more serotonin that's released through the gut, that gets, as a neurotransmitter moves to the brain, and your lights come on and you're happy and you feel like you can accomplish things. It's all connected. And this product is a huge reason for that happening. Other pieces of this, you know, I know that people have bowel movements all over the place. Some people say they're going too much. Other people say they're not going for days. We have to learn to use water and the food we consume to work with this product, because for most people, you're going to get some kind of change. But dandelion root, just another superfood that we've been killing for years, it's something that will actually help with constipation. There is slippery elm that really for the whole digestive tract, it's a smoothing agent, but it also increases stomach acid so that, and people go, well, I have GERD or I have acid reflux. You can't increase my stomach acid. What happens is stomach acid gets so low that food sits too long in the stomach because it's not getting broken down. There's not enough acid. So the food sits in there and rots, and then it causes more reaction to go up into your esophagus and really cause your burn and whatnot. So slippery elm can actually help your body naturally increase it so that it starts to break down food and starts to function better. But the process of getting there isn't pleasant because most people are on some kind of anti-acid thing to kill the acidity of your stomach, which prevents you from breaking down food. So there are side effects to those pharmaceuticals that are not pleasant long-term. And so if you can, you know, start to use products like this to support the entire digestive process, over time, you should be able to heal yourself as long as you're eating the right food, as long as you know how to use food properly. There's also things like aloe vera, and that also can help with coating passageways and pathways and stuff like that. With the liver, great liver support. Milk thistle, for example, there are studies done that help an alcoholic liver or a fatty liver recover. It helps it on that journey. So milk thistle is in here. There are some other ones. Dandelion root is another one that does that. So what we have then, when your liver can get healthy, it produces bile, and that is what helps you actually break down fats. So that's what you need. You need your liver healthy to actually be a healthy weight because it's a fat burning organ, and it helps you have that good blood report from the doctor's office. So this is a very intelligent product that really is about a journey of getting to long-term health. And I hope that most of you have the perseverance to figure out how it works best in your body and be able to keep that as an ongoing lifelong supplement. The other part of the EPIC pack is sleep. And other than the fact that, you know, it's got when you look at sleep aids, natural sleep aids, you could buy these things individually, but this product has them all in there in a blend. So that sleep slumber blend actually going to get you to it's actually going to get you to go through the process of sleep so that you can go through the shutdown of it so that you can fall into the deep sleep. And that's really important because deep sleep is where your body heals, it's where your hormones balance, and it's integral. It's so important to weight loss. If you do not sleep, all the stuff you do whether it's diet and exercise and that kind of thing, it's not going to overcome the lack of sleep. You have to stop the body from flooding itself with adrenaline because that spikes cortisol. So that's where the stress melt blend comes in with ashwagandha, lemon balm, and passion flower. It's just fantastic for helping those hormones balance to get your body through a transition. Some of us get sleep right away, and some of us have fought for sleep for 2 months on this program. I have some ladies that have joined me in this business that have incredible sleep now. It took them almost 3 months to get there, but they now have 7, 8, 9 hours of sleep, and their deep sleep is like up to 4 hours. And
you just need to change your slide to sleep.
Oh boy.
Thanks.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thanks so much, Carolyn. So you can see that, I made this PowerPoint last night and partially this morning, and I haven't worked through it before. So thanks for catching those things for me.
You're doing awesome. You're doing awesome.
Okay. Anyway, there's your sleep slide, but you guys have these things. They are the key phrases that we take out of that 3-page PDF that you can download at any time and you can get and read through. It's just most people look at that and they glaze over and go, I don't know what to do with that. So here you see a nice little phrase that sleep is that natural soothing effect, right? That makes you sleep more soundly. And the other thing that I would just say that it helps people balance their hormones like cortisol so that they can actually go through the sleep stages and fall into that deep restful sleep where the body repairs itself and cells rejuvenate. Okay, so now, we have alleviate, moving right along. Yeah, so there's not a lot to say about this one in terms of how to use it. You clean your skin, you put it on. It says they're not longer than 10 hours. I know that for my personal experience with it within my family, this is extremely fast acting and it's localized. So it's not something you ingest, of course, that then spreads out to the entire body. You've got to put it around the area that needs the help. So if we look at this product, I made a list there of things at the bottom, key components: potassium, magnesium, ginger, tourmaline, capsaicin, lavender, and ginseng. I hope I spelled all those correctly. I was copying and pasting pretty fast. But what I like to do is I like to go into medical journals and medical publications, and then I'll just research potassium and pain and things like that. And I like to know how this actually makes the body better. So, and also if you know about labels, the first ingredient means that it has the highest amount. Like that out of that whole list of ingredients, the first one is the largest quantity in that product. So when we look at potassium and pain, it's actually really good for rheumatoid arthritis. And so the problem we have with natural supplementation and autoimmune disease like rheumatoid arthritis is that we can't give immune boosting products to those people often because the body has turned on itself. The body has attacked itself, and it's actually breaking down cells, breaking down the joints, breaking down, the body is what it's doing. So to have something that you can put on to manage pain, all right, because autoimmune means it's not going away. It's there forever, and you have to live the best life you can. So something like this, putting that in that general area, is going to decrease the level of pain. They've known through studies that people who have rheumatoid arthritis have very low levels of potassium, right? So this is one of the things that, is in there. Magnesium, again, magnesium is actually more involved in blocking pain signals. So we often say after a good workout or, people that have pains like in their legs or whatever, that they often add potassium and magnesium to manage that. There's also ginger in there. It also works well with both rheumatoid and osteoarthritis in managing and relieving that kind of pain. Tourmaline, that's a lot of people look at that and go, well, those are crystals. How is that real or whatever? What tourmaline does is it stimulates the mitochondria of a cell. And if you go, well, what the heck is that? We learned about it, in grade 5. What do we need to know this for? Just think of it as the engine of your car, right? The mitochondria is the engine of every cell. Every cell in your body has a mitochondria, and it's the powerhouse. And what this tourmaline can do is turn that on. As we age, we break down in that. We need an oil change is what we need. Our car engine gets just inefficient. It's knocking, it's not working anymore. That's just part of the aging process. So getting the mitochondria healthy is what gives your cells more rejuvenation and longevity. And so they will actually be able to burn more efficiently and replace themselves on schedule. because all your cells die and they need to be replaced. So this tourmaline, it stimulates that engine, that cellular engine, so that you burn more energy and burn it more efficiently. It reduces inflammation, and also, if you know about burning energy in a cell, it can eventually lead to weight loss, right? Because that's what you want to do. And then, of course, there's the capsaicin. It works with the neurotransmitter that would communicate pain to your brain. That's what its job is. So it actually shuts that off a little bit. It slows it down so that you experience less pain. Your brain's telling you that you're not having as much pain. That's its job. Of course, there's lavender for that beautiful smell of essential oils, and ginseng as well. All those things are powerhouse items in fighting inflammation, especially in the joints, tendons, muscle areas. Okay. The next thing, and we went through this before, so I'll try to speak more quickly on this one. On Super Saturday, we did a presentation of Regenerate, one of our new powerhouse products. It's a turmeric curcumin chai tea. It's got a very delicious sort of mild chai tea flavor, which lends itself well to being paired with other types of drink mixtures. Just try to keep it healthy. So we found lots of ways to use it. We're sharing recipes like crazy. But curcumin is, again, a superfood that it's just under celebrated and under talked about, because the problem with it is it's not absorbed. It moves through the body so quickly that we often can't absorb it to get it to do what it needs. So then you need biochemists like the company that made this product to come up with technology that allows your body to absorb it. So when that happens, when you can actually absorb curcumin, you're going to notice change. And sometimes for people, it's not pleasant because curcumin can actually cause a detoxing effect. Too much of it can be hard on the digestive system. So for me, I don't have Regenerate early in the morning. I always wait till I've had a breakfast or something, or till I have eaten something, so that when I put Regenerate into my body, I don't experience any discomfort. What is really important about turmeric and curcumin is that curcumin is made up of curcuminoids. Okay, so you've heard of cannabis and cannabinoids. Well, this is a similar concept, just there's only about 3 of them here. And so a lot of people will say, I can go get this curcumin product from Costco for 30 bucks in my bottle. And I'm like, okay, good for you. But I highly doubt that you're absorbing that curcumin. And I really doubt that you actually feel anything, when you're taking it. You're taking it because you have a belief. You will feel different when you take Regenerate. And for me, the pain that I had in my knee, it's my IT band. This is sport-related injury, requires physio and dry needling and ongoing pain. It was really bad at about May when we got some dogs that we were trying to teach and, whatever. And one of them hurt my knee. In 3 days, I had no pain, and I do not have pain in my knee. And I haven't tried the Alleviate. I gave that to my kids because they're into some extensive sports, but I take the Regenerate. And it's amazing how fast this can go to work. And that's because of the technology that allows us to absorb it and what we've done with curcumin 3. So if you look at those numbers, yeah, we've got 3 curcuminoids, that's good. Curcumin 1 is probably what most curcumin products in the market have. So you can see there that it delivers 75 to 80% of the curcuminoid. So that means it's absorbing it. That's great. Those are great results. Curcumin 2, all of a sudden it drops to 9 to 12%. That's a huge reduction in absorption, right? A lot of products in the market actually only give you about 6% absorption if you start to read the bottle. Some of them say, well, I do 19 or whatever, and they add, peppers and stuff like that to it. Curcumin 3, and this one's important, most products only have 0.2% to 3%, and they never ever get the absorption of curcumin 3 into the body. But it is super important for this next slide for you to understand that curcumin 3 actually impacts some protein peptides. We're just going to call them that. They're regulator proteins, right? They're in our body normally to help us deal with inflammation, especially in the joints. The problem is that these 2 are pro-inflammatory. They have a pro-inflammatory response. They go rogue in your body, and they do the exact opposite. They start to attack the body. Okay, so I don't expect you to remember all that. What I want you to know is that rogue behavior is very common because we tend to eat salt, sugar, refined carbs, refined grains, and this aggravates all of that. Curcumin 3 has to be absorbed at least 30% in order for it to impact these pro-inflammatory proteins. Our product does that. So you go from 0.2% all the way to 30%. Now you're going to see why that knee pain is gone. And this is the huge piece here that you need to understand why this is so special. And this is the patented product that this company has, curcumin BDMC. It delivers that minimum. I believe they can even get beyond that in some cases. I don't know what that would do to the digestive tract or how you feel, but in this case, it has to be at least 30%, and that's what our product is doing. It's delivering 30% absorption. That's why you see such a fast relief. The other thing to know about curcumin and the oxidative stress, I don't know, how much time we need to spend on this, but what I want you to understand is when you eat poor food, when you are exposed to toxins, which are in your walls, it's in your bed, we have fire retardants everywhere. When you, women put, I don't know how many chemicals we put on our face before we leave the door. We are introducing damaged atoms into our body, okay? They're called free radicals. And if you look at the left picture, which is purple there, you can see that there's an unpaired electron on that atom. It's missing something. So that free radical needs to get the next electron. It needs one. So it attaches onto the healthy cell in your body. Wherever you're genetically predisposed to get pain or disease or whatever, that free radical is going to get there. And it damages the cell, and it causes a breakdown, and it causes aging, and it causes the onset of disease. So what we need to do, it's like this little parasite. It's not a parasite, but it's like this little bloodsucker that's draining the life out of you. And this antioxidant that's in curcumin, and I mean there is a high delivery of antioxidants in this product. It provides the missing electron, it neutralizes the free radical, and then you can finally expel it from the body. We knew about this science, when I was going to university, and we were told that you could never get rid of free radicals. They didn't understand the power of antioxidants. Now we know so much more. So when you look at this curcumin product, I was researching curcumin products on the internet, and I found that they were probably between 4,000 and 12,000. I know our sheet says about 9,000. Ours is 6 million. You just think about the power of that. So what's happening then when we talk about oxidative stress, that problem means that we don't have enough antioxidants in comparison to free radicals in our body. Free radicals are up here, antioxidants are low. So this keeps growing and causing the disease and the onset of aging and the problem you have. Introduce more antioxidants, and what happens is, boom, the oxidative stress is reduced, if not eliminated, and then you can get rid of those free radicals, and you can minimize the symptoms of the problem of the disease that you have. So that ORAC value is something that labs test on foods. We don't come up with that number. That's a scientific number that's assigned through a lab testing of food. That's what this Regenerate has, and that really is I think the powerhouse of this product and why you need to be paying attention to this particular ingredient. Now, if we move on from there, we also added collagen and hyaluronic acid to this product. Most people have to buy that separately, but collagen is involved it's the main protein in your body, and it's involved in repairing all cells. And it stops in production when you're in your early to mid 20s. It starts to go down to 75% production, and it depletes every year after that. So when you don't have that resurgence of collagen all the time, the only thing you can do is ingest it. And so this product puts that together so that you can have way more joint freedom and youthful skin and all that kind of stuff. And the hyaluronic acid is that soft, clear, gooey substance that is kind of like in the middle of your eyeball kind of thing. It's like soft and squishy like that. And its main function is turgor pressure. So if you think of an aging piece of lettuce in the bottom of your fridge, it's all wilted and crinkled, and you're not eating it, right? Because it has no turgor pressure. All the water has gone, and it just looks old and wrinkly. Well, that's aging. That's your body. So if you can get hyaluronic acid into your cells, they plump back up, and they are more lubricated, and there's moisture coming to the surface, and they function better. So that's what's amazing about this product. But at the end of the day, do you need to know all that science and explain to somebody? Not really. You just need to know that you have this wonderful tasting chai tea flavored drink that supports anti-aging. It gives you immune efficiency. It has relief from chronic pain through inflammation, and it gives you healthy bones and joints. Who doesn't need that? Any athlete, probably from the age of like 30 onwards, and aging person needs this product in their body. So yeah, that's pretty amazing with that one. Now, we get to talk about here very quickly the new Black Friday limited time offer promos. So this is what's coming. And if you haven't seen it already, there are some PDFs available. Maybe your leaders can get those to you. But Be Immune Plus is like this superpower to accompany a product we had earlier called Be Immune. Okay, so both products are really great products to have. Given what we're going through in the world right now, we need to pay attention to this product. This particular product is being, well, it's already in the studies. I believe I heard that Health Canada actually paid about $1 million to get the clinical testing done because they want this product for people who are having a severe COVID reaction. And I'm gonna just go on to the next slide to show you, okay, so here's the curcumin part of it. It's exactly the same as the last product that we saw, Regenerate, right? Please don't think, well, I get it here, so I don't need Regenerate. Two totally different products, okay? You don't have the collagen and the hyaluronic acid to put together to manage that inflammatory, joint thing that's going on. So to me, this will be in addition to Regenerate. That collagen that provides the youthful skin, the youthful cells and all that kind of thing. I need that. Anyway, what I looked at here was upper and lower respiratory infections, because Be Immune Plus is a powerhouse in this particular area. So yes, you can see all those beautiful names there: olive leaf extract, acerola berry, astragalus root, echinacea, reishi mushrooms, oregano. These, if you research, and I only do PubMed researches, but or searches, if you research this, what you see is respiratory support. So you can see why the doctors now are looking at this so carefully for something like COVID-19. A lot of these components are antiviral, antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, antioxidants. So they're going to raise the what was the word I was looking for? They're going to lower the free radicals, okay, because of the antioxidant properties. And so the upper respiratory illnesses are the ones that look like sinus and laryngitis and all those colds, and they're highly contagious. When we cough, we're just spewing that everywhere, right? But when it gets to the lower tract, lower respiratory tract, that's where you're moving into pneumonia and bronchitis, and the ones that are really hard to get away or recover from. And so if that happens, especially with COVID, the possibility of COVID moving into other organs and causing other autoimmune problems increases. So your recovery becomes very difficult. It's not like you're getting over a cold, right? So this is the problem with COVID, is that if it advances aggressively in a person, their recovery takes a lot of time and compromises their overall immunity and longevity in a way, if another autoimmune disease presents. And if you've got one, the chances of getting two are higher, or three are higher. So when you look at all of those ingredients, their main job is respiratory support. Acerola berry has, depending on where it's grown, 1,500 to 4,500 milligrams of vitamin C. I mean, most vitamin C supplements you get have 1,000, but that's what's in this, right? So the vitamin C content of this berry is so high that it's had a huge impact on the nutraceutical industry, which is what we are. But that olive leaf extract, like, look at all of that. If you can fight the fungus and bacteria and whatnot, you don't need to go to antifungals. If you're trying to fight a fungus in your body, it is a year-long prescription at least, and the impact of that on your liver is horrendous. So if you can keep these things in your body and deal with those and heal it, this is just like an amazing superpower immune boosting product. Let's see here. I think I'll leave that one there because there's like just way too much science involved in that one, but it's a good complement to Be Immune, which was the one we saw, a couple LTOs ago. The first one, it sold out. The second one, not as much. I think the problem is that we didn't promote this properly in our second LTO. We didn't understand the power of Be Immune, this orange cream drink. Most of the time, when you go work out with kids, especially young adults, after they have an intense workout, they're reaching for orange juice. We always say to them, you need citric acid, you need lemon juice, orange juice. But the problem with orange juice is it's full of sugar. And sugar feeds disease. Sugar feeds inflammation. It does the exact opposite of the outcome we want. So this orange drink is going to give you all that power in more, because you got acerola berry and all that kind of thing. It's going to give you way more power than orange juice without any of the harmful things of sugar in there, right? So there's elderberry. People will just try to buy elderberry in and of itself, right? And it's in here. The acerola berry, These things fight the common cold. They shorten the duration of it and the severity of it. Colostrum peptides, that is really unique to this product. When mother's milk, okay, so if you grew up on the farm, you knew that the calf had to have colostrum. If the mom cow died, the chances of that calf living was really low if they couldn't get colostrum into it within the first couple of days, because it's getting all the immune specific peptides that it needs to fight infections, all of them. This happens in mammals. So yes, us moms, that's what we've given our babies. The problem is that we get infections and all of a sudden doctors start prescribing antibiotics. What do you do to your innate immunity? You start to lower its ability, right? So colostrum peptides are a huge piece of immunity that you can put into your body and try to restore some of that natural immunity that could have been missing because you've had too many antibiotics or whatever. So that is a huge piece. I would love, like, I think my kids should have this every day. It's absolutely fantastic. So there, you can also see down lower that it talks about reishi mushrooms, zinc. You've all heard that it's this essential mineral that, you know, your body can't make it, but it's been really important to the fight against COVID. It really depends on whether or not zinc can get into the cells, right? So this has a very low dose of zinc, and it has that broad A, B, C, D, and E for vitamins. D3, vitamin C, zinc, all this stuff, we know we need it to really boost our immunity and take off with fighting colds naturally. And that is something that is a real concern to me as a teacher, because you walk into a classroom, you got to pump the hand sanitizer. You walk out of a classroom, you got to pump the hand sanitizer. And it's all over everything. And the kids are touching their masks. Do you know we have signs in our schools that say, if you are pregnant or breastfeeding, do not use hand sanitizer? That's what it says, because we know we can harm the fetus and we know we can harm the baby. So why are we forcing our youth to bathe themselves in this hand sanitizer? I don't understand. So this Bioimmune product can really do a lot to help boost that. But even better than that, oh my gosh, did it stop? There we go. Is this next product. This is the last product that I want to talk to you about. I love this because of the industry I'm in. I'm a high school teacher. So this is a spray, and I almost feel bad that they call it a sanitizer, but it's like this natural one, right? So if you look there, it says does not contain alcohol, water, petroleum, or fragrances. And it's been tested to fight against 13 different bacteria. A lot of hand sanitizers in the market don't have that level I think they have about 3 different bacteria that they test for, but this has been tested with 13. So I just put some key phrases in there for you from the PDF that we have. So it's got clinical testing. It's effective against bacteria, viruses, and fungus. And I can't really see my screen because of the way it's set up, but what you can see there is how far it goes. Just this one little pump puts this shield on your hand, and it's lasting so long. Why would you need to go and pump when you go into the room and then pump again when you leave the room, when you have the shield on your hands, right? Also, I don't know about you, but I have very dry skin. I don't have eczema, but my skin can crack very easily. And this actually helps soften your skin and helps with moisturizing your hands and whatnot. So these are the products that are coming out for the LTO. And I didn't, think about talking about business, but what I would like to do, I'm just going to stop the share of my screen, is invite Burke or one of our hosts back in here to actually talk about that if you want, or if I'm supposed to go to questions, I don't know. It's been a long time here. It's been over 45 minutes, which is more than I wanted to do. I'm sorry, but I'm going to turn it back to you, Burke.
All right, well, fantastic. So as far as the LTO goes, we'll leave that up to the individual leaders for their teams. I know that our team, we're going to do a team huddle real quick right after this launch, but just be aware. I mean, we want to everybody give Rebecca a great shout out. I mean, what phenomenal knowledge, and she puts it in a way, I know she puts it in a way that I can understand it. And if I can understand it, that means everybody can understand it. So we appreciate Rebecca again, and just understanding the power of what our products have. I mean, from the core products to the products that are coming next week, literally, I think we're in a world today that absolutely, I mean, literally we're dying for these products. We've just got to go out and, put our brave selves on and share it with the people, through the ad tag message. So again, thank you, Rebecca, for, you know, that you spend the time to put it together. You spend the time to research. I know that you kind of dig it. Angel kind of laughs at you. She, yep, Rebecca's geeking out on the new product. So I always know if you're geeking out, we're going to get some phenomenal information. So that's awesome. So appreciate that. Get with your teams, get with your leaders, get with your uplines. You know, let's promote the Black Friday, but also we have core products that are just absolutely phenomenal. So, you know, again, we need to take these products to the world to help them. Let's get through this COVID thing, and literally these products, you know, not only the products, but also, you know, we have an opportunity where we can help people on the financial side also. You know, you hear me talk about that, where, you know, we can show people where literally they can start a business for $89. I know Joe and Tina went to dinner the other day, you know, and they spent more on dinner than they did when they started their EPIC business. So, you know, we can help people start a business basically for the price of a good dinner, and it can literally change their lives both physically and financially. So thank you, Rebecca. Let's go out, have a fantastic weekend, and then for those Americans down here, happy Thanksgiving week. You know, it's time to spend time with our families and be grateful for all of the many blessings we have. So let's go out, have a fantastic week, everyone. And we really appreciate it. Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Congrats, Rebecca.
Thanks, Rebecca.